What's up, everybody? I'm doing another cook with me video. We're using the crock pot and we're gonna do chili today. So super simple, super cheap too. It's, like 60 or 70 cents a can for the stuff you need. A couple bucks for the hamburger, less than $1 for the seasoning. Of course you can tweak it how you want. This is how we make it. I'm doing it a little bit different this time. I kind of change it a little bit every time we make it, but so far we've made it 3 or 4 times and it's, damn near perfect. But like I said, it's super simple. Throw it in the crock pot, mix all this stuff together, you're good to go. So this part's kind of subjective. I've never even thought about this before till I seen it online today. I cook the hamburger first. A lot of people actually just throw it in there raw, which I was like, oh man, that's crazy. But then I'm like, we make the pot roast and it's literally raw and you put it in there so it cooks. But we're gonna go ahead and cook it first, and then we're gonna throw it in here. So just cook your hamburger like usual. I usually go like a medium high heat. Now we use 80-20 ground beef. You can use like the 90-10 or 85-15. We've tried like all of them and prefer this better. Prefer this the most with literally everything we make. The other ones, it doesn't have as good a flavor. That little bit of fat makes a big difference. So with the meat, if you watch my other videos, you guys know what this stuff is. It's just that it's like salt, pepper, it's sea salt, pepper, it's like onion powder, garlic powder, just kind of like a little mix of, everyday herbs and spices or whatever. We use this on like almost every meat we cook, whether it's burgers, steak, meat for chili, like everything. This just makes it really good. So we're gonna use that, and then also another subjective thing, put a dash of this in there. It really kind of makes it pop. So you're just gonna chop it up like you're making, taco meat or something. And I'm actually not going to cook it quite as long as I normally would. If we were doing like nachos or tacos or something, I'm not going to quite, not going to bring it to quite as much brown, I guess is what you would say. Again, this is totally subjective. I'm not even trying to pronounce it, but you know what it is. But definitely season your meat. That's going to make a night and day difference. I'm going to go heavy on this because, of course, a lot of this is going to get drained off. Probably use a little bit more later, too. Now, seasoning is where most of your flavor comes from, but, of course, you got to cook the meat the right way, too. Like steaks, you don't need any kind of A1 or any kind of steak sauce. Just some salt and pepper and cooking it right. Most flavor you can possibly get. So season your meats. Now, of course, like I said earlier, I'm not going to cook it as long as I normally would because it's definitely going to cook in the crock pot a little bit. But with that being said, I'm going to fully cook it. I'm not going to leave any pink in there. I'm just not going to brown it like you normally would with like taco meat or nacho meat or something. There's really no time limit on this. I can't say, cook it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. It depends on your heat, size of your pan, stuff like that. So you're basically just going for no pink. You want all the pink to be gone. If you want, you can absolutely brown the meat a little bit too, which is where you'll kind of see like right now it's almost kind of like a grayish color, like a grayish brown. You'll start to see like brown bits in there. So that's about done. I'm going to add a little bit more seasoning. Now I'm going to show you a trick we learned to get rid of the fat. So you take your strainer, if that's what you use to drain your meat, but instead of doing it in like a bag or like a coffee can like my mom used to do growing up, or even people that put it right down the sink with hot water, like that is the worst possible thing you can do. what we do is we take the little hamburger thing, the little tray, make sure it's flat, and then dump this right over it. And all your grease is going to fall right in that tray. And of course, if some runs out, that's perfectly fine. It's by the time it gets in there and it starts running off, it's cool enough anyways where it's not going to burn through your bag or anything like that. Or you can do this in like a, you know, a grocery bag, put the thing in there like a paper plate. But that's, in my eyes, that's a waste. So go ahead and do it like this. With your dog's watching. Wait for you to drop some. Alright, so now comes the easy part. And again, this is a very subjective recipe. I'll keep saying that because it truly is. I've never used Great Northern beans before, but a lot of people say they're great in chili, so we're going to try it. I usually use, every other time, this is what we use. So this time I'm going to try the Great Northern beans, and I'm going to try some garlic in there. So, of course, you know, we always get our Kroger stuff. The chili seasoning, I think, would be, you know, all this stuff is going to taste the same generally no matter what brand you get. But your seasoning, that's kind of subjective as well. You know, each one's going to have a little bit different flavor. We always go with this one. We love it. It's got a good flavor. We don't like spicy. Like, I love spicy foods, but our chili, I don't really like it any spicier than just original chili. And unfortunately, like I've said in my other videos, Shelby's, she can't really handle onions and food. It really messes with her stomach, onions and peppers. So can't do any onions and peppers in there, unfortunately. But this turns out amazing as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on low. And we're going to do it on low for 6 to 7 hours. So first off, just pour your hamburger meat in there. And then basically all you're doing, you're just adding all this stuff one by one. Put tomato sauce in there. Diced tomatoes. Of course, you can get ones that have like chilies in them or spices in there, stuff like that. We just get regular diced tomatoes. These are chili ready, so I don't know what the difference is, but these make or break it, in my opinion. Just pour it all right in there, juice and everything. Now your beans, you're gonna want to drain all these juices out because you don't want that in your chili. Okay, so beans, again, very subjective. Add as many or as little as you want. We do the whole can of the kidney beans. I actually used to do 2 cans of these. The recipe I go with calls for 2 cans of these, but I substitute other cans. So I would say at least, you're going to want at least 2 cans worth. Black beans. The black beans and kidney beans are my favorite. And some white beans. Oh, go throw these away. Now, one mistake I made. I was like, oh, you know, regular fresh beans in the bag would probably be better in the chili, right? I didn't realize you have to cook those first. I was like, oh, it'll be in the crock pot for 7 hours. It'll be fine. So I whipped it all up. I added a bag of, you know, like an equivalent bag of what I just put in there, but they were hard beans. It was terrible. They didn't cook. The chili, like the tomato and the, I forget the ingredient that's in there, but it prevents them from cooking. It was terrible. The whole batch was ruined. So, your whole thing of chili powder or chili seasoning. And then the recipe I follow calls for 2 cups of water. 2 cups is way too much. It makes it like soupy. So I'm just going with about 2/3 of a cup. In my eyes, that's plenty. Worst case, I can, you know, add a little bit more if I need to, but now we're gonna add some garlic. This I've never done before, but I think is really, really, really gonna improve the flavor. Not a whole lot of garlic, but a couple big cloves. And I don't know, like, if garlic's like not in season right now. I don't know if that's a thing or something, but man, these are tiny. If you guys watch my other ones when I made the pot roast, I said the same thing, like, and now they're even smaller. So that should be plenty right there. When you're chopping garlic, if you're not good at it like me, it's actually really simple. You just keep smashing it with your knife. But there's plenty of videos out there. I do recommend watching one. Most of it just involves smashing and peeling, but what I was just doing is cutting the root side off. I call it the butt, but now you just slice them up. And then you're pretty much gonna chop these up and like mince it into the little tiny pieces. And this stuff is actually really sticky. I was surprised. But man, there's very few dishes garlic doesn't just make way better. And again, this is me just going out on a limb and trying this. We've never done it before. You definitely don't have to add it if you're not a fan of the flavor. We personally love garlic. Well, she likes garlic. I love garlic. I don't know what it is, but it is delicious. And now you just basically take this pile and just kind of chop it up. I'm so not a professional knife user here. People who probably really cook are watching this right now cringing. I know my mom does this and she's just like, I can't do it like that. It doesn't work for me. It looks cool, but... One more time. Basically, you want, all the big pieces chopped up into small bits like that. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. You don't really have to spread it out because we do have to mix it still, so. Rinse my hand off. Now, something like this, if you got one of these like spoon holders, this comes in really handy because I do recommend stirring this every once in a while. So, obviously, you're going to have a chili spot wherever you put it, so just mix it all up. Now, right now, this looks like about the perfect amount of water, like that 2/3 of a cup I did. I'm going to check on it periodically. If I notice it's getting more watery, it's easy to fix. If I notice the water is probably evaporating like it will a little bit, and I need to add some more, you can definitely add some. And if you add too much, if you got a little like flour or cornstarch, it's really easy to thicken it back up. It's just, this is 2/3 of a cup of water right here. And this is pretty much level and perfect to me. They want 2 whole cups, which would, in my eyes, bring that almost to the top of this. And that's just like soup. You're making like a chili soup at that point. So I mix it up a little bit more. Can't hurt to mix it too much. Got to get all that chili seasoning spread around and mixed in. Get all that garlic dispersed. You don't want all that garlic sitting in, like one little spot. You go to get that chili out and then somebody's gonna have some garlic flavored chili, some unedible garlic chili. And of course, this is a small batch. Our crock pot is decently small, so you can obviously make it bigger. Just, like double the portions, I guess. Do like 2 pounds of meat and like 4 to 5 cans of beans, twice the water. Maybe 2 packets of chili seasoning. But that's it for now. I'm going to set the timer for 7 hours, which is going to be like 11 o'clock tonight. But that works out perfect because that's about what time Shelby gets off work, so... Timer set for 7 hours. I will be back here in a split second. Hours for me, but a split second for you guys when I check up on it, mix it a little bit. So, alrighty, see you in a minute. Alright guys, it's been about an hour so far. Let's go ahead and check this before I take off. It smells amazing. One thing we were actually going to try too. Oh yeah, you can smell that garlic too. One thing we were going to try this time, a lot of people say it's good with corn in it. And we love corn, so I think we're going to put that in the next batch and try it. But yeah, every couple hours maybe give it a stir or two. Definitely won't hurt it. If you can't, that's also no big deal. Just make sure you mix it up good the first time. But I'll see you back in about 6 hours. Again, same as when I did the pot roast. I started it way too late. It says 6 to 7 hours on low. The pot roast said it was like 7 to 8 hours on low, and at 8 hours it still wasn't done enough. So the chili, I've had it on low for, let's see, we got 2 hours and 41 minutes left. So a little over 4 hours on low, and I was just doing the math in my head. I forgot Shelby gets off a little bit earlier now. She used to get off around 11, so I was like, oh man, that works out perfect. But she gets home around 10:30 now, so I threw it on high. I'm going to keep it on high for the next, it's got 2 hours and 41 minutes left on low, but it's 8:45, so about almost 2 hours on high. It looks delicious though, I'm not going to lie. I was going to get a spoon and try some. But here's what I was saying with the water I wanted to show you guys. So you can see all the condensation up here. That's a lot of water evaporating. And look how much more water has appeared in here. Like it just, I don't know where it comes from, but you can see it's way more like watery than when I put it in there. I kind of had to like squish it down. So what they say to do, there's 2 ways you can kind of treat that. A lot of people say on the last hour or half hour, put it on high and leave the lid off, because you see all the steam up here? That's water, essentially evaporating. So obviously it'll thicken up. Or they say if you don't have time for that or don't want to wait for that, take like 2 spoonfuls of flour or cornstarch and get a little bit of milk or water, like another, maybe just a splash. Mix it up and then pour it in here and mix it around, and I guess that kind of makes it thicken really quick. Not instantly, but if you can wait about 10 or 15 minutes, I guess it makes it thicken up. But yeah, this stuff looks delicious and it smells amazing. Our house smells so good. So I gotta try some, I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, you guys, this stuff is delicious. I was recording it, but Shelby just called me, so it stopped recording. I got just 1 spoonful with the meat and, like a tomato and like all 3 of the different beans in there. Perfect. It's hot as hell. I burned my tongue, but flavor-wise, it's delicious. The garlic is perfect, like just a hint of garlic. I could personally use a lot more garlic, I'm not going to lie to you, but on like a normal person garlic level, it's perfect. Just a little hint of it, kind of, you know, get a little bit of that, you know, I almost said kick, but it's not even that much to even say kick. But yeah, so I'm gonna let that go. And I want to talk about my sides. So like I said, on the chili itself, I gotta have like some cheddar cheese, any kind of like shredded cheese really. It could even be mozzarella, but some kind of shredded cheese on top. Right as soon as you take it out of the crock pot, so it's hot, it melts the cheese. But some people say sour cream. I've never tried it. It could be good. I mean, I love sour cream on like burritos, which has, you know, beans and meat in it. So I assume this would be really good with it too. I've never done it though. But here's where it gets weird. Like, I work with like 2 people that have tried this before, and out of everybody I've talked to, like 1 person has tried it. So I know like 3 people. My mom got me hooked on this when I was young, so like I thought it was normal. But everybody looks at me like I'm so weird. Bread, not toast, bread in peanut butter. I don't know why. I can't tell you what's good about it. Like, you just take the bread, put some peanut butter on there, and just like, I eat it with the chili, you know, like sometimes I'll put the chili on the bread, sometimes I'll dip it in there, sometimes I'll eat some chili and then I'll take a bite of the bread. I don't know why, but it's so good. And a couple people that have actually tried it and not been like, "Ew, that's disgusting, you're weird." They're like, "Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it tastes delicious." So judge me all you want, but try it. I like white bread. I don't like wheat bread. Shelby likes wheat bread, but she won't even try it. She says I'm weird. It's good, you know, and that's what's cool about YouTube. You know, people around the world are going to watch this, you know, and everyone makes chili their own way. Everybody does their own sides, you know, so you hear about it, try it, and find something new you like, or try it and be like, what the hell are you talking about? That's nasty. So let me know what you guys think below in the comments. It's good. Try it. Seriously, just try it. Take 1 piece of bread, put some peanut butter on it, have it with your chili. Let me know. All done.